one, rich dad, poor dad. I had two fathers, a rich one and a poor one. One was highly educated and intelligent. He had a PhD and completed 4 years of undergraduate work in less than 2 years. He then went on to Stanford University, the University of Chicago, and Northwestern University to do his advanced studies, all in full financial scholarships. The other father never finished the 8th grade. Both men were successful in their careers, working hard all their lives. Both earned substantial incomes, yet one struggled financially all his life. The other would become one of the richest men in Hawaii. One died, leaving tens of millions of dollars to his family, charities, and his church. The other left bills to be paid. Both men were strong, charismatic, and influential. Both men offered me advice, but they did not advise the same things. Both men believed strongly in education, but did not recommend the same course of study. Instead of simply accepting or rejecting one or the other, I found myself thinking more, comparing and then choosing for myself. While both of them was just starting out on their careers, both were struggling with money and families, but they have very different points of view about the subject of money. For example, one dad would say, the love of money is the root of all evil. The other, the lack of money is the root of all evil. As a young boy, having two strong fathers both influencing me was difficult. I wanted to be a good son and listen, but the two fathers did not say the same things. The contrast in their point of view, particularly where money was concerned, was so extreme that I grew curious. I began to start thinking for long periods of time about what each was saying. Much of my private time was spent reflecting, asking my questions such as, why did he say that? And then asking the same question for the other dad's statement. It would have been much easier to say, yeah, it's right, I agree with that. Or to simply reject the point of view by saying, the old man doesn't know what he's talking about. Instead, having two dads whom I love forced me to think and ultimately choose a way of thinking for myself. One of the reasons the rich get richer and the poor get poorer and the middle class struggles in debt is because the subject of money is taught at home, not in school. Most of us learn about money from our parents, so what can a poor parent tell the kids about money? They simply say, stay in school and study hard. The child may graduate with excellent grades, but with a poor person's financial mindset. It was learned while the child was young. Money is not taught in schools. School focus on scholastic and professional skills, but not on financial skills. This explains why how smart bankers, doctors, and accountants like Thomas, who earned excellent grades in school, we still struggle financially all of their lives. Our staggering national debt is due in large part to highly educated politicians and government officials making financial decisions with little or no training on the subject of money. Because I have two influential fathers, I learned from both of them. I had to think about each dad's advice, and in doing so, I gained valuable insight into the power and effect of one's thoughts on one's life. For example, one dad has a habit of saying, I can't afford it. The other dad forbade those words to be used. He insists I say, how can I afford it? One is a statement, and the other is a question. One lets you off the hook, and the other forces you to think. My soon-to-be rich dad would explain that by automatically saying the words, I can't afford it, your brain stops working. By asking the question, how can I afford it, your brain is put to work. He did not mean buy everything you want. He was fanatical about exercising your mind, the most powerful computer in the world. He said, my brain gets stronger every day because I exercised it. The stronger it gets, the more money I can make. He believed that automatically saying I can't afford it was a sign of mental laziness. Although both dads worked hard, I noticed that one dad had a habit of putting his brain to sleep when it came to money matters, and the other has a habit of exercising his brain. The long-term result was that one dad grew stronger financially and the other grew weaker. It is not much different from a person who goes to the gym to exercise on a regular basis versus someone who sits on the couch watching TV. Proper physical exercise increases your chances for health, and proper mental exercise increases your chances for wealth. Laziness decreases both health and wealth. My two dads had opposing attitudes in thoughts. One dad thought that the rich should pay more taxes to take care of those less fortunate. The other said, taxes punish those who produce and reward those who don't produce. One dad recommended, study hard so you can find a good company to work for. The other recommended, study hard so you can find a good company to buy. One dad said, the reason I'm not rich is because I have you kids. The other said, the reason I must be rich is because I have you kids. One encouraged talking about money and business at the dinner table. The other forbade the subject of money to be discussed over a meal. One said, when it comes to money, play it safe. Don't take risk. The other said, learn to manage risk. One believed, our home is our largest investment and our greatest asset. The other believed, my house is a liability. And if your house is your largest income, you are in trouble. One dad believed in a company or the government take care of you and your needs. He was always concerned about pay raises, medical benefits, sick leave, vacation days, retirement plans, and other perks. He was impressed with two of his uncles who joined the military and earned a retirement and entitlement package for life after 20 years of active service. He loved the idea of medical benefits and privileges the military provides its retirees. He would say, I've worked hard for the government and I'm entitled to these benefits. The other believed in total financial self-reliance. He spoke out against the entitlement mentality and how it was creating weak and financially needy people. He was emphatic about being financially competent. One dad struggled to save a few dollars. The other simply create investments. One dad taught me how to write an impressive resume so I could find a good job. The other taught me how to write strong business and financial plans so I could create jobs. Being a product of two strong dads allowed me the luxury of observing the effects different thoughts have on one's life. I noticed that people really do shape their life through their thoughts. For example, my poor dad always said, I'll never be rich. And that prophecy became reality. My rich dad, on the other hand, always referred to himself as rich. He would say things like, I'm a rich man, and rich people don't do this. Even when he was flat broke after a financial setback, he continued to refer to himself as rich. He would cover himself by saying, there is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, and poor is eternal. My poor dad would also say, not interested in money, or money doesn't matter. But Rich Dad always said, money is power. The power of our thoughts may never be measured or appreciated, but it became obvious to me as a young boy to be aware of my thoughts and how I express myself. I noticed that my poor dad was poor, not because of the amount of money he earned, which was significant, but because of his thoughts and actions. I became clearly aware of being careful which thoughts I chose to adopt as my own. Although both men had a tremendous respect for education and learning, they disagreed in many ways which one was important to them. One wanted me to study hard, earn a degree, and get a good job to work for money. He wanted me to study to become a professional, an attorney, or an accountant, or go to a business school for an MBA. The other encouraged me to study to be rich, to understand how money works, and learn how to make it work for me. I don't work for money, he said. Money works for me. At the age of 9, I decided to listen to and learn from my rich dad about money. In doing so, I chose not to listen to my poor dad, even though he was the one with all